Hi everybody, it's Anne Marie, Sage of the Soul. So I'm sitting here doing some work. I apologize, this is the way I'm looking, no makeup. And I had this epiphany. Well, I've had this epiphany for a while actually. I've been working on it. So I thought I would share it and see what you guys thought. So what if we changed our perceptions or our identification with triggers, trauma? Oftentimes we talk about, things that trigger us, especially when it relates to trauma. So what many don't know is that, trigger warning, by the way, since we're speaking of that, there's going to be trigger things here. So what a lot of people don't know is many years ago, I was a victim of a home invasion where 5 men came into my home and brutally did some very unspeakable things to me. And for many years, I didn't know that things around me were triggering me. And I didn't, even as a social worker of 20 plus years, it didn't register, right? So when I came back to Ohio in 2015, was it 14 or 15? It was 15. Sorry. How could I forget that? In 2015, I went to Amethyst and I did a lot of work. It was a trauma-informed treatment, long-term. And for the first time and only time in my life since I was 14, was I able to stop working and be still and focus on me. I also learned about these triggers, right? And so it made sense because every time at that time, I saw like, the grocery bags, like the Kroger grocery bags. I don't know where to look. So the Kroger grocery bags, I would see them tossing down the street. And immediately I would be taken back into that traumatic event. Because during that home invasion, they're doing shit upstairs, put a plastic bag over my head and tried to suffocate me to end my life. To no avail, I'm still here. And so I didn't recognize that when I would see those bags or hear it, actually the rustling of the sound, that it brought me right back to that event. So I have been working on rewriting my story. I have been so blessed and I'm grateful for learning about how to rewrite my story. So I'm trying to apply it to this. Hear me out. So what if we changed our identification with that trigger? So now when I see a bag tossing, this is what I've been doing. When I see that bag now, I look at that bag and I remember the times, I know this sounds crazy, that I picked blackberries and put them in that bag. I remember the times that I put socks in there and hand them out to homeless people. I remember carrying goods and services that people have given me that I love and honor in those bags. So I've changed my identification with that bag from something traumatic that it reminds me of for the last 15 plus years into something beautiful and magical. What if we changed our narrative? We know that 68 to 70% percentage-wise, that our recollection of things have been padded or added to. And it's not to take away from trauma or to say that it didn't happen. It's not to minimize it. But when we start identifying different things as triggers, then we always say, oh, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I'm triggered. And for me, I started to notice that too, for me, was another justification for my reaction, was another, I don't want to say excuse, because I don't want to say that, because I don't want to put blame or shame on anybody, because we are who we are. But we've been put into this mindset to put things into a category. This is what this is, and this is what it does to me. As if we have no control over it. And we have control over it all. especially the stories that we tell ourselves about people, places, things, events, objects. And so it's just a thought. Curious what you guys think. I hope you have an amazing and beautiful day. Please get outside and connect. If you can't, if you're so busy that you don't have 5 or 10 minutes to go outside, I get it. I said the same thing. And then I was at a healing circle, like a drumming circle at Griggs that Iggy was doing. And another shaman, Ray, was there with his wife. And Ray shared with me that when he was near me, he felt like a shock from me, actually. And he would see how my fingers vibrate when I get to the base of that drum. And I don't even need to be near it now for it to happen. And I, for the first time, I shared, like, so there's this thing that happens to me on my feet. And I've spent thousands of dollars at the doctors not being able to explain it, thinking it was neuropathy or diabetes. Energy. So I said the same thing. I don't have time. I'm a social worker. I work all these hours, and then I come home and have to do all this paperwork. And he looked at me. He said, "Girl," I think he said, "Yeah, get a container like a painter's bucket, get a bucket, and pour some dirt in it, and put your feet in it while you're doing your notes." We make time for what's important. And once I started to do that, I started to slowly recognize how much my anxiety was reduced, my depression. And so now, yesterday I wasn't going to go anywhere because I just wanted to go to go connect with nature. So anyway, it talks to us. So I'll leave that for another video. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. I hope that you are loved. I hope you give love and are open to receive love. I hope.